Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Medieval 2 Total War, Third Age Total War mod with the Divide and Conquer submod. Although they call it a submod, but really, like, it's a standalone mod you can get these days. And as soon as I alt-tab back in, the copyrighted music started again. Never mind. This mod has copyrighted music from the movies in it, and I'm recording the stream locally onto my hard drive today, which is not something I normally do, because that way, hopefully, even if Twitch mutes the VOD, I should still be able to put up a unmuted version on YouTube afterwards. That's the idea, anyway. Anyway, we're going to play some Divide and Conquer, the Lord of the Rings mod for Medieval 2 Total War, which is amazing and very, very cool. Now, I played the original Third Age Total War mod many years ago and enjoyed it very much. But I did learn in the intervening years that apparently the best way to play this mod nowadays is with Divide and Conquer instead of just regular old Third Age Total War. And so that's what we're playing. I don't have a lot of experience with Divide and Conquer, but I dabbled a little bit with it earlier today to make sure it worked, and I was very impressed with what I saw. Very impressed indeed. So we're going to do the War of the Ring campaign, and there's a bucket load of factions here to choose from. We've got the Woodland Realm, we've got the Realm of Lothlorien, we've got Isengard, we've got Gundabad, we've got the remnants of Angmar, we've got Gondor, of course, we've got Dol Amroth, we've got the Northern Dunedain, and I do find it a bit weird, the idea of the Dunedain being an actual sort of faction on the map you can play as in this game, but yeah, whatever. The Ar Adunayim, I don't know who the hell they are. Who are you guys? Oh, they're Umbar. That's Umbar, right. Okay. No wonder they don't quite fully appear on the map. That's interesting. Begins as a horde. Oh, very interesting. Okay, that's quite cool. That's quite cool. Interesting. I was wondering about who they were. Breland, again, which is a bit of a odd faction to play as in a Total War game. I mean, their faction leader is Balin and Butterbur, the friggin' bartender from the Prancing Pony. So that's just a bit peculiar to me as well, but okay, fine. We have the Dunlendings, we have the clans of Enedwaith, which is these guys. We have the Haradrim tribes down there. We have the Variags of Khand over here. We have the Easterlings up here somewhere. Yeah, there they are. We got the Dwarves of Khazad-dûm. We'll come back to them in a minute. The Dwarves of Erebor. The Dwarves of Ered Luin over there in the Blue Mountains. The Kingdom of Dale. The Kingdom of Rohan. Obviously, Vale of Dorwinion, which is over there by Rune, next to that big old lake I forget the name of. It's more of a sea, really, than a lake, I think, but hey. At the Anduin Vale, so that's kind of the Bjornings. Led by Huntmaster Bjorn. Then you've got High Elves. So you got Rivendell, Linden over here, the Grey Havens, all those places. You've got Mordor, naturally. Leader Sauron, of course. You've also got, though, Dol Guldur over there. Leader Lord Camul, who I think is one of the Nazgul, if I recall. And then you've got the Goblins of Moria as well. Leader is High Chieftain Uglag, apparently. And yeah, those are all the factions available in the mod. There's quite a lot of them. Quite a lot. Where's Angmar hanging out? They're hanging out up there, are they? And the Gundabad? They're, yeah, right next door. Interesting. Right, so you want to play as the Innkeeper and defeat Mordor. That's probably quite hard. I have to imagine Breland does not have an amazing roster. Let's have a look. Ranged-focused faction, strong economy, generally weak units, military mercantile choice. Notable units, gatekeepers, merchant infantry, and woodland hunters. Yeah, that sounds like not a very easy campaign to me. Although I suppose on the bright side, you are fairly safe. You're in deepest Eriador there, which means that you're surrounded by friendly factions. So that's a thing, I suppose. Yeah. I'm not sure I'd play as them though. Same with the Dunedain. I kind of don't really understand why they're a faction that controls large swathes of land. That doesn't make much sense at all. But hey, whatever. I think the notion with these guys is that these are the ones you'd play as if you want to restore the Kingdom of Arnor, I suppose. Ranged focus faction, generally strong roster, very slow recruitment. Beacon of Hope recruitment system. They get Dunedain, Steel Bowman, Arthedain, Royal Guard, and Dunedain Rangers, obviously. Factions that I think are quite interesting, though, are... well, there's quite a few of them, actually. I think Isengard's got to be a fun one to play as, because you start off so small, and you have such a good roster of units. I mean, you can't go wrong with Uruk-hai, can you, really? So they're probably a really good fun to play as. Mordor is bound to be an absolute barrel of laughs to play as. The Remnants of Angmar would be kind of interesting. I'd quite like to have a go as Angmar at some point. And I have to admit, the Corsairs of Umbar, in other words, these lads here, they look like they'd be a lot of fun. And who else? Dale could be interesting, I suppose. The Goblins of Moria could be an absolute giggle as well, to be honest with you. I wonder what I bet they have a really interesting roster. It says generally weak roster, very large unit size, cheap units, well-rounded faction. So definitely a horde army. Notable units: Azog's Defilers, Mountain Uruks, and Flame Wrangler, whatever a Flame Wrangler is. Down to Goblin Town, yes. But we, today, are going to be playing as these guys. The Dwarves of Khazad-dûm, led by Balin. Heir none, capital none. These guys are super duper interesting. I'm going to make it a short campaign, so it's hold 20 regions, including the eastern peaks, the western peaks, and we want to eliminate the Goblins of Moria and the Orcs of Gundabad. Now these are a mega interesting faction because a bit like these guys over here, they don't start off with any land or territories. What happens is we start off as a single stack of troops outside Erebor, and we go on a quest westwards to retake Khazad-dûm from the goblins. And it's very story focused, and there are events and things, and it looks like it could be really interesting and really fun. So I'll read you some of the fluff text here. The light of the shaft fell directly on a table in the middle of the room, a single oblong block about 2 feet high, upon which was laid a great slab of white stone. On the slab, runes were deeply graven. Sorry. Balin, son of Fundin, Lord of Moria. The company stood silent beside the tomb of Balin. Frodo thought of Bilbo and his long friendship with the dwarf, and of Balin's visit to the Shire long ago. In that dusty chamber of Mazarbel in the mountains, it seemed 1,000 years ago, and on the other side of the world. I fear the Book of Mazarbel had ill tidings to record, said Gandalf. The first clear word is sorrow, but the rest of the line is lost, unless it ends in Ester. Yes, it must be Yester, followed by Day. Being the 10th of November, Balin, Lord of Moria, fell in Dimril Dale. He went alone to look in Mirrormere. An orc shot him from behind a stone. We slew the orc, but many more. Up from the east, up the Silver Lode. Poor Balin. He seems to have kept the title that he took for less than 5 years. That's the quote, more or less, from the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. And yes, Balin has quite a quiet and sad death, actually, in the end. He gets taken out by a random orc with an arrow as he's just standing alone in Dimril Dale, gazing into the Mirrormere. Not a very heroic death, really. It's sort of... it's quite sad, honestly. Maybe we shall avoid this fate for him, though, in our campaign this time, eh? Our starting location is an expedition outside Erebor. Early game is the journey to Moria, over wood or under tree. Military overview. The expeditionary forces focus on the taking and holding of ground wherever possible. They craft mighty shields that they train with endlessly until the shield becomes an extension of their arm, and they wear the finest dwarven armor in Middle-earth. This reliance on defense and armor does slow them down on the battlefield, however. In order to not get completely bogged down, they field nimble archers to harass their enemies as the slow-moving column of dwarven fury makes its way to the battle lines. Special features: the expedition to Moria, no cavalry, and the highest quality armor. Rare units are the Hammers of Gundabad, although we have to take Mount Gundabad itself, I believe, to actually recruit those guys. We are an infantry-focused faction with excellent armor and morale. We have the expedition to Moria as being a unique thing for us, and we have no dedicated cavalry at all. So if we want cavalry, we're going to need to hire mercenaries. Our notable units are the 1st Legion, the Legion Shield Guard, Khazad-dûm Guardians, and Dwarven Catapults. I like what they've done with the Dwarves in this mod, because there's 3 Dwarvish factions, and they're all a little bit different from each other, because you've got the Dwarves of Erebor, who have like virtually no ranged units, and they're very attack-focused, they're very offensive-oriented as an army, whereas Khazad-dûm is very defensive. And then you have Ered Luin, around here somewhere, there they are, the Dwarves of Ered Luin, and they have a bit of a ranged focus. They have a big thing with crossbows in the mod, which is kind of neat. But do we get to fire the twirly whirlies? Probably not. I don't know how on earth you'd mod that into Medieval 2's engine. Be nice if we had a guy riding a pig, though. I wouldn't mind that. Maybe Erebor gets some pig riding, goat riding lunatics. Who knows? Because with Erebor in this mod, it's kind of Erebor and the Iron Hills as one faction, so it's obviously King Dane. You know, he rules over both, right? So. Polyphons. The Haradrim presumably get those. So Haradrim tribes would be what you want to go for if you want some Mumaks. So yeah. Can you change the outcome of Moria? I intend to. We'll see if I actually manage it, of course. Difficulty-wise, I believe I've been told this mod is primarily balanced actually for very hard difficulty. However, because I'm extremely unfamiliar with the mod, I'm gonna shoot for hard and hope that's okay. Especially because particularly with this specific campaign that starts off in the slightly weird way that it does. I wonder if Creative Assembly will make a real Total War for this. I want to say probably not. If it was ever going to happen, it would have been back when the Lord of the Rings movies came out and they were super, super popular. If it was ever going to happen, it would have been then. Honestly. So, probably not, no. Does Aragorn lead a faction? Yes, he leads the Northern Dunedain over here. There you go. Aragorn. If you want to play as Aragorn, that's the faction you want to play as. I reckon they probably have a pretty interesting campaign. As weird as it does feel to me to have the Dunedain Rangers being a faction on the map that controls land, I do like the idea of your challenge for the game basically being to rebuild the Kingdom of Arnor. And I don't know how the story of the War of the Ring kind of factors into it. I know there's a lot of scripted events and stuff in this game, so Aragorn at some point he might leave your faction to go off and, you know, join the Fellowship of the Ring and do all, you know, become King of Gondor and all that sort of stuff. So I guess you start with Aragorn as head of your faction, but I don't know if it stays that way. So anyway, we can play as the Dwarves of Khazad-dûm. That's our faction for this campaign. I want to tick on no battle time limit because that always causes problems. And I think we should be ready to go. You ought to know they are the apple of the great eye. Grishnak about the Nazgul and the Uruk-hai. Here we go. How's the audio, everybody? I hope it's not too loud. I did fiddle with the audio settings in OBS again, so hopefully it's not all buggered. You've never heard that expression, Madman, on the apple of my eye? I admit it's a slightly old-fashioned expression these days, but... maybe a little quiet. Really? Bloody hell. How much do I have to turn the slider up? I don't know. We'll leave it for now. Alright, welcome to Divide and Conquer. Welcome to Divide and Conquer 4.6, Eriador Rises. This message is designed to brief you on the major changes between Divide and Conquer and Vanilla Medieval 2 Total War. I would ask you to take a few moments to read through this, as it will answer 80% of all the questions we get asked. That is the sound of a very desperate mod maker right there. Recruitment is restricted by an event called the Barracks event. You will trigger between turns 60 and 64, and it unlocks your higher tier barracks buildings. You will need town halls or castle halls in order to train units or agents and settlements. I'm guaranteed to forget most of this, by the way. Characters can die of old age, but not until they reach at least 120. There are 4 turns per year, so a 16-year-old character would take 416 turns to die of old age, so quite a while. Many units get a visual change to their battle model when they are upgraded at a blacksmith, as is seen mostly with Gondor, Erebor, Eredluin, and Khazad-dûm. Bodyguard units have a hard-coded replenishment number of 77. If a unit starts with more than 77, like Thranduil for example, then he will not replenish until his number goes below 77, and then it will only return to 77. The number for unique cavalry bodyguards is lower, but suffers from the same mechanic. There are no assassins, but there are merchants, diplomats, and spies. Diplomats are recruited from unique buildings dotted around the map. That's interesting. A total war game where you can't very easily recruit diplomats. I wonder if a lot of the diplomacy is going to be done via scripting. Some factions have restricted town or castle development. The levels that are available are as follows: village, town, large town, city, and large city. Keep, castle, and stronghold. This is... oh god. Okay, I've accidentally gotten rid of that message now. Because I really need to turn the music down, because my god, music with words in it seriously distracts me when I'm trying to talk. So I'm going to turn that right down for a minute. Alright, anyway, there are some other changes in there that probably aren't that important, I guess, hopefully. So this is the important bit. We are the Dwarves of Khazad-dûm. Durin, eldest of the 7 fathers, first awoken of the children of Aule. I think that's how you pronounce it. I never can quite remember. I know the dwarves call him Mahal, the maker, as opposed to Aule, unless they're speaking like Sindarin or whatever. But founded Khazad-dûm, the dwarf mansions, the heart of our ancient realm. Since the first age, we have thrived and prospered in these halls, for here we found Mithril. Here also was our greatest friendship with the elves in their kingdom of Hollin, and our own part in forging the great rings. In this wonder lay our undoing as we dug too deep and awoke Durin's bane, the spirit of shadow and flame, Valarokar, a Balrog of Morgoth. 1,000 years have passed since Durin's bane drove us from our ancient home, and now our travel-worn expedition stands inside the Dimril Gate, the doors of Moria. The words of friendship are revealed under the moonlight once more. Be aware, evil lurks in the depths, and Durin's bane still haunts the deepest reaches of Moria. It falls to you, Lord, to return these great halls to their former glory. We are all stout veterans of many battles, but the possibility of reinforcements are slight, and we have few or no friends on our borders. We must count on our martial prowess, hard-earned against many a foe, and subtle diplomacy to secure our right to settle once more in these great halls of our forefathers. To the east, we face the Sylvan Elves, who still blame our hunger for Mithril upon the waking of the Balrog, fiercest of their ancient foes. They will not forgive us this easily. Despite our enmity in these dark times, it would be wise to try and ease the tension and gain their favour, but the decision remains yours. To the west and north, there are the great mines and halls of Khazad-dûm and the wonders of the Mithril Forge, where once our forefathers' hammers rang as our songs were sung, and from our deep breweries there flowed rivers of our finest ales. By Sauron's will, those are now in the filth-ridden claws of the goblins, our hated foe. Cowards who will never have forgotten our axes and our battle wrath from the war of vengeance and the slaughter of Azog upon the stairs of Azal-Nul-Zubar. Azanul And Azal Bizarre. I could never pronounce that one properly on the first try. Azal Bizarre. There we go. Got there in the end. There will be no peace with those who slur our great king Thror, bearer of one of the last of the 7 rings. Our axes cry out to drink the sweet nectar of hatred, to feast in the black poison of goblin blood. With war, pain, and wrathful war mask, our axes' thirst for revenge shall never be sated till the scourge of the misty mountains is complete. The last shield is smitten, the last severed goblin head mounted upon an upthrust stake. It would be wise to reconquer these regions, as many of the forges and storerooms remain in working condition. That will be of great help, reforging the armor and weapons for our most mighty warriors. Northward, along the great misty mountains, lie strongholds infested by wretched goblins. One day, when we have regained our former strength, we shall move against these creatures and slay them, cleansing their festering corpses from under and atop these fine mountains. Until that day, Lord, we have to endure many battles while working to restore the halls of Durin and our greatest sires. Your loyal dwarves stand ready, awaiting for your orders, ready to follow you on our quest to surpass our former glories, striding forth into the next chapter of our history, striking out boldly against those who would arrest our great march through the pages of the histories of Middle-earth. The time has come to reclaim our rightful home, so a trilateral meeting has been called in the town of Dale, with the elves of Thranduil's realm, the men of Dale, and our fellow kin. We will discuss a plan, and then gather volunteers for our quest. We must move to the town of Dale, my lord, or we shall be late. Baruch Khazad Menu. The axes of the dwarves. The axes of the dwarves are upon you. Right. Diplomatic information, just out of curiosity. Darashon, thank you very much for 20 months of subbage. Welcome back. The Orcs of Gundabad and the Anduin Vale are at war with each other. Same with Gondor and the and Umbar. I'm pretty sure they're Umbar, those guys. Dol Amroth and Umbar as well. The Orcs of Gundabad and the Goblins of Moria are allies. Gundabad and Angmar. Gundabad and Dol Guldur. The Haradrim and Umbar and Mordor and Umbar are all chums in the same big horrible club. I like that the diplomatic information screen is just a screen cap of Aragorn beheading the mouth of Sauron. That's that's a neat touch, I guess. They usually become Umbar, but don't start as Umbar. Okay, I get you. Pictured diplomacy. Yes. So here we go. As you can see, we've got Erebor with a lovely custom model along with Dale. We're watching. We've got Glowin, and we've got Gimli over there, and I am reasonably sure it's pronounced Glowin and not Gloin, as they repeatedly referred to him in the movies. Emil Kjeldsen, thank you very much for 16 months of subbage. Welcome back. There's Glowin. And we have High Lord Balin.
Aye, my king.
There he is. Balin. Aged 53. I feel like he's older than that. But okay. He has lots of command stars, lots of authority. His people consider his word nothing less than divine mandate. Dependable and beloved general who commands with an iron fist. And acumen's decent. Aided by some solid public speaking skills, this man has started to garner a grasp of rulership. He has lots of traits, and he has some retinue. He has Owen. Owen is the son of Groin and Glowin's brother. See, that's why I'm pretty sure it's pronounced that way, because otherwise it would be Owen, son of Groin, which would just be silly. That would be silly. Therefore, he's a member of the House of Durin. Owen is an experienced fighter. He was one of Thorin's companions and fought during the Battle of the Five Armies. +1 public order, +1 public happiness, +5% taxes income. Ori belongs to the House of Durin. He was one of the members of the Quest of Erebor and has received a part of the treasure after the Battle of Five Armies. He's able to write well and speedily in Tengwar. Besides, he plays the flute well. +1 command, +5% movement points, and +1 troop morale. We have Balin's battle axe. This great battle axe has been handed down from father to son for generations. +2 authority, +1 command when defending. The Book of Mazarbel. Balin took this book when he left Erebor in order to record the story of the colony and its progress in the depths of Moria. May this book never contain dark news. It may contain dark news! Plus 5% mining income, plus 1 acumen. And then his traits are as follows. We've got his biography. Balin was born in the Third Age 2763. He survived the attack of Smorg, or Smaug, whichever you prefer, on the Lonely Mountain, fleeing to Dunland with the rest of his people. He fought in the Battle of Azal-Nulbazar. I think I got it right that time. In 2799, witnessing the death of his father. He was part of the company of Thorin Oakenshield, and thus participated in the quest of Erebor. Afterwards, he fought valiantly at the Battle of Five Armies. Balin is one of the many dwarves that long for Moria, and is willing to take action to return. Plus 2 command when attacking, plus 3 authority, plus 3 command, plus 8 hit points, so he's not going to die very easily. Plus 6 loyalty, plus 10% movement points, plus 2 personal security, and plus 2 troop morale. He is a dwarf. Here stands a dwarf, short but fiercely proud. No finer defensive warriors may be found in all of Middle-earth. Loyal to their friends, but very slow to trust. Stubborn is often used synonymously with dwarven. Minus 5% construction cost, plus 3 hit points. So even more hit points for this lad. Plus 5% mining income, plus 1 command versus orcs. Longbeard. The Longbeards, or Durin's folk, are the wisest and most far-seeing of the 7 kindreds. He is faction leader. He's the leader of one of the world's major powers and commands respect. No obedience as a result. Plus 8 authority, plus 1 command, plus 1 personal security, plus 2 troop morale. Special ability. Ah, yeah, he has a special ability. This is neat. Has a special ability on the battlefield. The Stubbornness of Dwarves. Usage. Charges 1. Duration 60 seconds. Effects. Plus 250 for your own army's fatigue. Permanent. But minus 750 for your own army's fatigue. Temporary. So it can temporarily reduce your fatigue, but like afterwards, you'll be permanently fatigued. Locks own army's morale to impetuous. So it's impossible for your guys to rout. Rallies own routing troops as well and sets them to impetuous as well. So that's like a really powerful, like, once per battle rally that just instantly replenishes your morale, your stamina temporarily for all your troops, and makes everybody fearless, basically, for 60 seconds. That's pretty neat, honestly. Dauntless. Fear is not something that troubles this man. He will valiantly accept grim odds without complaint. Yep, sounds about right. Gets merry. Not at all opposed to letting his guard down when drinking among friends. Also sounds about right. Promising attacker. Proven commander. Confident defender. Wall taker. Good at the walls. Yep. Alright, there you go. That's the summary. Mercenary units available for hire. Dale Cavalry. Yes, please. We're going to need these guys. That leaves us with 220 gold, but I believe we will get some more later, so don't need to worry about that for now. We're going to hire... all we've got right now is we've got Balin and his 32 retinue guys, which are Balin's Guard here, a unique unit, with some ridiculously good stats. Headskull, thank you very much for 33 months of subbage. Thank you very much. Welcome back. They inspire nearby troops, effective against armor, reliable in snow, see morale below. There's a morale section below. Excellent stamina. The bodyguard of Balin are veterans of the War of the Dwarves and Orcs. They have chosen to accompany Balin to find that peace, even if they mean if that means going to war. They know their way with a warhammer and shield and will not yield. No matter how bad they are outnumbered. They accompany Balin to Khazad-dûm not for the riches, wealth, or glory, but because Khazad-dûm is rightfully theirs and no evil creature may call it their home. But they lack in speed, they compensate in brute strength, pushing back the enemy until there is no turning back for them. In battle, they are fearless and show no mercy to anyone who defiled their halls. They usually show up in the front line of battle, cleaving a way through anything in their path. Morale unwavering, locked, so these guys are fearless. They'll never rout. Morale response good. Movement speed 95%, so they're a little slow. And they get a terrain bonus in snow, and they get a terrain malice in barren. Now, I think barren, as far as this mod is concerned, is pretty much Mordor. That's what it's referring to there. That kind of terrain. Let's have a look at it, actually. There you go. Here's Mordor. There's Mount Doom around there somewhere. There it is. A Rod Ruin. There's the Black Gate. Down there is Minas Morgul. There's Osgiliath. There is Gondor. Although we can't really see it right now, but we can see this outer wall bit thing. Go all the way up here. There's the Argonath and the Falls of Rauros. There's Amon Hen. Go all the way up here. Lothlorien is roughly about there-ish. There's Khazad-dûm. That's the Dimril Dale, this bit here. And we've got this little fort thing here. I'm not sure what that is. It's probably there for some weird background gameplay reasons. And then you got Khazad-dûm itself over here. Its own unique little model and stuff. And these are obviously the Misty Mountains. Just go all the way up here. This is the sort of Angmar, Mount Gundabad around here. Then you've got the Grey Mountains, Ered Mithrin. And then you go all the way back down here, and you've got this big-ass lake I can never remember the name of. It's where the Easterlings hang out. And you got Mirkwood. Dol Guldur, I think, is around there-ish. And Thranduil's palace is up here somewhere, I reckon. Probably around there somewhere. And how a Wood Elf campaign would go. You never played as them. I'm not sure what you would do as a Wood Elf with a Wood Elf campaign. Honestly, it's an odd one. You're sort of another one of those factions that seems to be largely surrounded by friendlies. I suppose you could march off north and try and fight Angmar and Gundabad, if you wanted to, or you could march east and sort of help these guys fight the Easterlings a little bit, I suppose. But I feel like there's not an awful lot for you to do if you want to play as the Woodland Realm. But maybe I'm wrong. Right. I've got an arrow pointing us here, so let's go here. Speed that up. There we go. And then that's all. That's it. That's all we get to do for this turn. We've got Balin. We've got some mercenary Dale cavalry, which, believe me, we're going to need. They're decent. That's about all I can say about them. They're all right. They're not bad. They're not great. End turn. Oh, yeah, of course, you'll be fighting Dol Guldur, right? With the Wood Elves. Trying to take back Mirkwood, I suppose. It's a very limited goal for a playthrough, though, isn't it, really? Music's gone mega quiet now because I turned it down, didn't I? I turned it right down because there was an annoyingly loud bit of music. Turn up a bit again now. Turns take a little bit with this mod, I've noticed, but I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes with this one, so... Dol Amroth claims Edelhond. Edelond, even. Long as Edelond remained untouched, unspoiled, and unpopulated. Since the elves long ago from Gondor... since the elves left long ago from Gondor, the port city has been abandoned. Its large docks and strong walls have remained unused, and the surrounding lands empty. Times are changing, however. Gondor faces war from the east and the south and possibly the north. It cannot afford to waste land, and thus the Prince of Dol Amroth has now sent a force to occupy the city and keep it fortified. Edelon now belongs to the Prince. Fornost reclaimed. A great day for the Dunedain and a bitter day for their enemies. The city of the north is once again in the hands of its true owners. Flags fly from atop the crumbling ruins of the Palace of Kings, and men flock back to the great city to find refuge and rest. Many paths and errands meet. Our first little story event thing here. We exposed our intentions to the Assembly, and unfortunately Thranduil and the Men of Dale refused to provide any decisive support to our cause. Almost 40 years have passed since Lord Balin and his company reclaimed Erebor, bringing peace to the northern Rivanion. Yet our so-called allies believe our quest to be folly. With probably good reason, really. considering how it turned out in the end. Nevertheless, we have had better results with our kinsmen. Optimistic dwarves from Erebor and the Iron Hills have volunteered for our journey. Without delay, we must decide upon which course to take to Moria. There are 2 proposed routes to discuss, my lord. Please listen carefully. Bushy grassroots, thanks very much for the prime sub. We can use the longer route by first passing along the foothills of the Ered Mithrin and then turning south through the Anduin Vale. It will be safer, but it will take more time, and we have a higher chance of alerting the Misty Mountain Orcs of our mission. The second option is through the Forest of Mirkwood, and Balin knows from experience the dangers within. As of late, the darkness of Dol Guldur pervades the woods. Many attacks should we expect on this route, but it will be swifter, and the Orcs which infest our home will not see us coming. Lastly, keep in mind that while our starting gold is well funded by the leftover shares of Balin's dwarves, the longer the quest, the less gold we shall have to rebuild Moria quickly. Shall we use the longer and safer northern route? This path will delay our arrival to Moria, but will be safer, so click the tick for that option. Or shall we traverse the dangerous forest southwards? This path will be faster, but is also more dangerous. Press the X for that one. So, folks, I'm going to let you vote on this one. My wee council of dwarves in the chat, you're going to vote in this one. Which way are we going to go? Now, how do I do a poll? I have to do it in the dashboard, don't I? Let's see. Manage poll. Ritual. Khazad-dûm Gandalf. Is it left or right? So, the safe route, in air quotes, and the
we're watching.
I'll just split through Mirkwood because it doesn't give you a lot of characters to write in there. Duration, couple of minutes. Start poll. There we go. Please don't crash on me here, game. Let me alt tab back in, please. Please. Oh god. Medieval 2, please don't. Please don't be weird. Oh well, I mean, oh no, we're okay. We're okay. It's finally loading. Ugh. I'd be worried there for a minute. Oh, bollocks. I didn't mean to do that. We might have to restart now anyway. By pressing escape there, I meant to open the menu so I could save the game. But what it's actually done is it's automatically selected the Mirkwood route. 97% of you voted for Mirkwood anyway, though, so I guess that's fine. 33 people voted for Mirkwood, 1 person voted for the route north. So that's that, I guess. A happy coincidence. Alright, so the journey begins. It is decided then. We shall risk the shadow of Mirkwood for the sake of time. Our dwarves are ready for whatever they may face. We know what is at stake, and they will do anything for the ancient halls of Moria, of our true home. We must respect the following rules while on the quest to Moria, as our campaign may be cut short. Our campaign may be cut short. No other settlement but Moria. We have our quest. Do not deviate from it. No declarations of war. We are representatives of Erebor, and we will not disgrace our fellow kinsfolk. Capture Moria in no more than 7 years, which would be, I think, 24 turns. 21 turns, something like that. Wait, 7 times 4. Brain. 14. Yeah, 28 turns, even. It'll be 28 turns we've got to take Moria. After that, our company will be recalled to Erebor. Follow the directions given. The route is planned ahead, and if we do not follow it, we will face the wrath of the king. Very well. End of turn report. Relations report. Relations improved with Dale to good. Anduin Vale perfect. Woodland Realm good. Dol Guldur very poor, and Goblins of Moria very poor. As if they couldn't get any worse. Save the game. 1. Click. Khazad-dûm 1. There we go. I'm just going to bring my Twitch dashboard back up. There we go. Yes, now we have a big pile of money. Everyone's we've done a whip around, and everyone in Erebor has chipped in for our expedition. We've got a big pile of money now. It's a bit annoying you have to go through this every time you alt tab, but never mind. There we go. Right, we need to follow the route, so that means going where the arrows tell us to, like so. Now I just want to see. Ravanian riders. We've got Dale cavalry already. Do we want anyone else? Don't really care about Ravanian spearmen or Ravanian hunters, but how are Ravanian riders compared to Dale cavalry? They're not as good, are they? But they are cheaper to maintain. I'm going to take another unit of Dale cavalry, I think. Can I move you guys around?
Your will, my lord.
No, apparently not. Because we're going to need cavalry. We get no cavalry of this faction, and there are going to be instances where we desperately need cavalry, so we definitely need to bring these mercenary riders with us. Okay. How do you quick save in this game? Is it Control S or something weird like that? Yeah, it is. There we go. Cavalry is a good thing to have in a mine, but it's not really so much for the mine we need it for, as you'll see.
The times come, lads.
And instantly, battle! Dwarves delved deep at that time, seeking beneath Barazinbar for Mithril. Thus they roused from the sleep a thing of terror. Alright. So here we are at the borders of Mirkwood, being attacked.
I want the enemy dead before our porridge is cold. At them, lads!
There are kind of general speeches, just little ones like that, but they're nothing crazy, I'm afraid, Django. Alright, fun feature of this mod, if you press scroll lock, we get cinematic cam. Kinda neat. Alright, so, do we want to do this? I'd quite like to deploy as far away from the trees as possible, if I'm honest. I didn't really go over our units we have, actually, before this started, so I'll do that. We already know, I've already shown you the Dale Cavalry and Balin's guys, but we've also got Dragon Slayers. Inspire nearby troops, can make shield wall, skilled against mounts, effective against armor, reliable in snow, frighten nearby enemy infantry, see morale below. For many ages of Middle-earth, the folk of Durin have dwelled in the lands east of the Misty Mountains, where the halls of the Grey Mountains were their northernmost outposts. After the fall of Khazad-dûm and the establishment of the kingdom under the mountain, the kings of Durin's line ruled for a time from the Grey Mountains. There's quite a few typos in the descriptions in this mod. I think it might be because the mod makers were not English speakers originally. Where they tapped the riches that lay hidden beneath the mountains. In the wastes to the north, however, dwelled cold drakes, lesser dragons who survived the War of Wrath and escaped the destruction of Beleriand. For a time, the valiant warriors of the Ered Mithrin held off their assault, but the death of Dane, their king, led them to ultimately abandon their mines. Defeated, though not broken, these dour veterans keep watch over the lands of the north, their unmatched skill at arms honed and tempered through desperate combat against some of the most terrible servants of Morgoth who yet remain in Middle-earth. Morale unwavering, locked, so like Balin's guys, these guys are fearless, they'll never rout. Morale response impetuous, movement speed is a little slower than regular. Train bonus in snow, and a malice in barren, and a bonus against camels, wargs, horses, and oliphants. Ironically, not against dragons, but there aren't any dragons in the mod, one assumes, so that'll be why. Yes. They're very, very good, as you can see. They have some amazing stats. The thing about them is, though, I'm pretty sure it doesn't show it here, but it will show it on the campaign map when we look at them. You need to hold a specific province to recruit these guys, and it's not one that we can get easily, I don't think. So this is our only unit of Dragon Slayers we may get for the entire campaign, so we should be careful with them. They are precious to us. They're chunky upkeep costs, but they are precious to us, so we don't want to go wasting them unnecessarily. They can make shield walls. Well, a lot of the dwarf units can do that, which is neat. We've also got Dwarves of Khazad-dûm, Erebor infantry. Here we go. These are warfare is no stranger to the folk of Durin, who have often found need of taking up arms in order to protect or further their interest. Warriors such as these, armed with hand axes and equipped with wooden shields, make up the bulk of dwarven armies and are often called to arms, whether to quest for greater riches abroad or to forcibly discourage the greedy advances of those who may lust after the wealth of the dwarves. So a basic, decent infantry unit. Then we've got the Khazad Volunteers. As Balin sets out to reclaim the long-lost mansions of Khazad-dûm, a large contingent of dwarves from Erebor and the Iron Hills goes with him. These dwarves form the most basic backbone of the Khazad army, but being volunteers, they are not heavily armoured and instead hope to gain fame and fortune at journey's end. They opt for a simple travel cloak and light gear to help with the long and arduous march. With swords, axes, hammers, and round wooden shields, they are a very versatile unit capable of resisting arrow fire and small arms. Their courage is strong, though, and they will rarely flee the battlefield, so yeah, morale very good, which is a thing with dwarves. They tend to, all their units pretty much have amazingly good morale. True in the tabletop Middle-earth strategy battle game, too, actually. Played a game of that recently, as the dwarves, funnily enough, against my friend who was playing Moria goblins, and, yeah, the old dwarves do not run away very easily in that either. It's kind of what inspired me to play this, actually. I had such a good time playing it on Wednesday with a chum of mine that I was like, I really want to play some Third Age Total War now. It was an amazing game. I'll tell you a bit more about it later, I suppose. Then we've got Dwarven Labourers. So, to sum this up, these are basically labourers and stuff that have come with Balin on this journey, and they're not really combatants, as you can probably tell by their stats. Although their stats are not bad, actually. In some ways, they're better than those Ravanian cavalry we found earlier. But they are not really combatants. They are the labourers and, you know, the bakers, bookkeepers, candlestick makers, etc. that have come along for the expedition to help resettle Moria. Then we've got Dwarven Travelers. I love how story focused all of this is. Even the unit roster kind of reflects our goals here on our expedition. It's great stuff. Reliable in snow, ranged unit. Yeah, one of our only ranged units we get. Although all dwarves favour the mountains and their deep delve mansions, there are a few who set out into the world to send messages, barter with merchants, hunt for new sources of food, and to travel the world to visit their distant families. On these large treks, the dwarves prefer a lighter form of mail over their more traditional heavy armour, and this lighter gear allows them to travel better. With this lighter armour comes a greater need to engage enemies before they get too close, and so the travellers look to wielding powerful short bows rather than large axes or halberds. Roaming the world at will, they have become rather formidable warriors and can bring down any orc foolish enough to get too close. Morale very good, morale response average, movement speed 100%, so they have like regular movement speed compared to everyone else who's a bit slow. Terrain bonus in snow, malice in barren, 24 missiles, range 150 meters, which is not brilliant, but it's okay. Accuracy is average. So these guys aren't too bad. They're not too bad. They're decent enough. They, you know, virtually any variety of elf archer would make these guys look pants by comparison, but as the dwarves, we don't really get a lot in the way. Well, I say as the dwarves, as Khazad-dûm, we don't get a lot in the way of missile infantry units. I'm pretty sure that the Ered Luin Blue Mountains dwarves get some really nifty crossbows, but not us. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get a battle line going here with our Khazad volunteers in the front line here, because these guys strike me as probably the easiest to replace eventually. We'll have Erebor infantry on each flank. If I can fit them there. It's Move this up a little bit. I really want to get as much room to maneuver out here as possible. You're going to be difficult about it, aren't you, game? There we go. And then behind them, well, just in front of them slightly, I think, we'll have the Dwarven Travelers with their bows. And then behind them we'll have the Dragon Slayers. And we'll have Balin. And then behind them, we'll have the Labourers safely in the back. And that should be good. And then we've got our Cavalry, who we're probably going to need on this one. I'll put you there, and I'll put you there. And we'll begin. Should we go cinematic mode here? Have a little look at our boys. Those are some mighty fine beards you've got there, lads. There's Balin and his chums. There he is at the back there. Man himself. Got some nice banners. I love the designs for the armor on these guys, actually. Really, really cool. There's the Dragon Slayers. With their big axes and their big shields. Also really cool. Then you've got the Khazad Volunteers, which, yeah, as you can see, they've got some hefty looking chainmail, but that's about it, really. And then you've got the Erebor Infantry that are definitely much better armored. Oh, and then here's the Ranger type guys. Little Dwarven Travelers. Just keeping an eye out for the enemy. These guys are actually quite cool. I have, for the tabletop game, I have some Dwarven Rangers. I was talking about this before the stream. But I have some Dwarven Rangers, and they look a lot like this, actually. Almost exactly like this, in fact. I might even paint them the same colours. I should refer back to the VOD for this when I'm painting the little buggers, actually, because this is quite a cool look for them, actually. With the dark green cloaks and whatnot. I like that. Anyway, scroll lock off. How's the sound, by the way? The music is a little bit on the loud side in my ears right now. Compared to the rest of the game audio, anyway. Just turn it down a wee smidge. Speaker sound is fine. Out of nowhere, you spot a farmer's cart selling corn. I see. I don't understand the reference you're making there, I'm afraid, Tizzle, but thanks for the bit. Feels like you're having to raise your voice over the music. I am a little bit. It feels like I ought to. It's quite loud in my earphones. What you're not hearing is the sound of battle. Glorious battle. Apparently there's some units out here in the woods. We're not seeing a lot right now, though, are we? We've got Dolguldur Gobbos, by the looks of things. Goblin archers of some kind. Led by some big orc or Uruk type fella. And what I have to assume is probably a pair of black Numenorians. I'm assuming that's what they are, or just, you know, evil humans. But I don't want to fight you guys in the woods, so I'm going to sit here and wait for you to come to me. Is this some type of Lord of the Rings mod? Yes, it is. It is Divide and Conquer. A sub-mod of the Lord of the... of what's it called? Third Age Total War. Although you don't need Third Age to be able to play this mod these days. You can just download Divide and Conquer straight from ModDB. Come at me, goblins! There are 1,000 or so dwarves yet in Mirkwood who still draw breath. Well, we're not really in Mirkwood, actually, are we? We're, by definition, just outside of it, really. So just battles, or there is a story? Yes, there's definitely a story with this faction. We're playing as the The Dwarves of Khazad-dûm. We are playing it. This is our entire faction on the on the table here, on the battlefield, led by Balin. We are on an expedition to reclaim Khazad-dûm from the orcs and goblins of the Misty Mountains. And at the moment, we don't have any cities or any other armies or anything like that. We are just this one army making our way across the map. And at the moment, we're making our way through Mirkwood to try and get to the Misty Mountains. And we have been attacked by these foul gobbos. There's going to be a lot of them, does there? Alright. We've got some Dale cavalry mercenaries that I picked up as well. And we're going to send them to deal with these gobbos, I think. Oh. Some of the dwarves are opening fire with their arrows. I'd like you guys to stop that now before you start killing the, before we start killing our Dale mercenaries. That would be bad. Just gonna turn this. I think we've gotten the audio to the point where what you guys are hearing is roughly matching what I'm hearing, so I'm just gonna turn this down a little bit now.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and
Wow, they're still trying to fire arrows back there in
steadfast,
spite of being engaged by cavalry. That's impressive. All right. All right, let's go, dwarves. I think we'll charge them again. We'll withdraw and charge them a second time. I'm surprised they didn't break, honestly. These goblins are made of sterner stuff than I thought. They come back to the other side. Man, playing as Rohan in this mod must be so much fun.
enemy force remains.
All that cavalry. I think we'll get the dwarves to finish him off. Some of them are running away. Yep. Right, you can go chase them. Are they chasing these? Are they chasing my cavalry? That's funny. We dwarves are like, come back here, you bastard goblins! Can't run fast enough to keep up. I'll get him eventually. Come on, laddies! Pump those legs. Alright, I'm gonna have to pin them down with the cavalry, apparently. I can see this being a very frustrating aspect of playing as the dwarves. Just chasing down enemies is gonna be hard work. At least they're still fresh. They haven't been tired out by their running. Not sure I could say the same after running that length of distance from all the way over there. There we go. We've got them now. Get stuck in, lads. I mean, don't all pile in at once. Thank you. Now they're legging it. Or are they? No, they're not, are they? They're still eager, apparently. These goblins must really hate dwarves. They're goblin headhunters, apparently. That sounds like a particularly nasty variety of goblin, if you ask me. Oh no! Is this guy gonna die? Please no die. I like this bald guy over here. He doesn't need no stinking helmet. He's got a big old noggin that he's gonna headbutt people with. Variax, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome aboard, everybody. How's the audio, folks? Is it loud at all? It still feels a little loud at my end. That's a very stubborn unit of goblins. I'm amazed. It's fine now, but when I'm like totally zoomed into the combat, it does seem a little loud at my end. Now they're legging it. Or are they? No, they're just shaken. They're withdrawing, but they're not actually running.
The enemy general
There we go.
dead. Let the crows have his... The enemy army flees the field. After them. Cut the cowards down.
There we go. Ooh, big blood-splattered banner. I like that. Hope I didn't lose too many dwarves there. Looks like I only lost a few. Not sure I can say the same for the cavalry, but they are just mercenaries, so I don't mind quite so much. Let's see, how many dead horses we got over here? Not too many. Oh look, there's a little goblin running. Get him! There we go.
This is a clear victory.
You suspect a mod. You would be correct. We are playing a mod called Divide and Conquer, which is itself a submod for another mod called Third Age Total War, and it is a Lord of the Rings mod for Medieval 2 Total War. And it is awesome. It is so friggin' good. It's like a whole new game. So we lost 37 guys, apparently. Do we get any casualties healed? 1 Dale Cavalry and 6 Dale Cavalry from this unit healed. Apparently we took some goblins prisoner, although I don't know for how long they're going to be prisoners instead of corpses. Nice. Casualties inflicted quite a lot, especially by this unit of cavalry. Good, good, good. So, the faction we're playing as in this is the Dwarves of Khazad-dûm. We are Balin and his expedition to reclaim the halls of Moria. At the moment, we're not actually at Moria yet. We're at the start of the campaign, where we start off as a faction without any cities, without any towns, without any territory, and just one army. And our quest is we started off here at Erebor, made our way south. We went to a meeting at Dale, and then we gained a bunch of volunteers for our quest. And now we're headed out across Mirkwood to go all the way across here to... Oh, where the bloody hell is it? There we go. All the way down here to Khazad-dûm, where we intend to retake it from the orcs. At least that's the plan. We all know how that went in the actual story. Balin ended up with an arrow in his neck in the Dimril Dale, and the rest of them are all deaded by the goblins and the Balrog. But maybe it'll go better for us this time. You never know, right? The arrow's pointing to where it wants us to go next for our next encounter along the path. We're actually given 2 options. I put it up to a vote, because we were able to either go through Mirkwood, which is the faster route, or we were able to go up round past the Grey Mountains, and then down this way, which is apparently the safer route, but it takes longer. And the chat pretty much overwhelmingly voted for Mirkwood, so we're going through Mirkwood. End of turn report, which is pretty much irrelevant to us right now because we don't even have any territory. But we are the richest faction on the rise, so we do have 36,000 gold that Balin and all of his chums have chipped in as the expedition funds. There's currently no mercenaries available to recruit. If we cross over into here, though... Oh, still no mercenaries in the heart of Mirkwood. Who'd have thunk it, I suppose. War declared. Isengard and Rohan are at war. Jolly good. And our relationship has improved with the Dark Lord of Mordor. I don't know if I should be worried about that. It's improved to good, apparently. Relationships worsened with Dol Guldur and the Goblins of Moria, though, to abysmal, which doesn't surprise me. I think this is weird, though, because there is a Mordor faction, and then there's this, and I think this is a weird faction that changes over the course of the game, because I think this is actually like sort of supposed to be the Ringbearer faction or something like that, because like scripted events happen. The War of the Ring is a thing that happens in this. You know, the Fellowship are making their way across Middle-earth. Well, they will be, I think, right now, and I don't know where they would be at this point. I think Frodo's probably still in the Shire at this point, and Gandalf's off. I don't know. It's all a bit weird, because I don't feel like Isengard and Rohan should not be at war, while Balin has yet to even make it to Moria, so, I don't know. The mods just... Things are just happening, I guess. We're in an alternate universe where Balin decided, you know what, we'll just wait for a couple of decades before going to take Moria. It's for the invasions and stuff. He calls Crusades. Ah, okay. So he's like the Pope then in vanilla. Sauron is the Pope. I see. That's how it works. Yeah, no mercenaries available still. There is some tents there, some trappers. So some probably Dalish, I would say. Probably Dalish fur trappers heading south into Mirkwood to hunt. We haven't quite reached this next bit here, but I don't. It might not matter. I think we might get a combat encounter pretty soon anyway. Let's do a wee save. I like you can zoom in the main map here actually and get a slightly better look at it, which is neat. It's a lovely map they've done, both down here and the campaign map itself, full of lots of little additional bonus bits in it, like Osgiliath down there and Amon Hen up here and the Argonath and whatnot. Wherever it is. Oh, it's up this way, isn't it? This is the Anduin. Got Lothlorien over there. Found it earlier. Where is it? Ah, yeah, there it is. There's the Argonath. Can't wait to be excommunicated by Sauron, yeah. Okay, enter. I don't think it would be actually physically possible for the Ringwraiths to rebel against Sauron. I'm afraid. Although... Alright, we got Elven supporters arrived. We've been given there was an event box there that went by too fast for me to read it, but we've been given a couple of units of Wood Elf archers have arrived to help us. That, if you wanted to rebel against Sauron, Isengard would probably be a good faction to play for that. We're going to get a little miniature speech from Balin. Miniature speech from miniature leader.
Business, my bonny lads. Killing talentless, hopeless loons is never very nice.
Alright. Well, we start on a nice hill. That's always a good sign. I'm not even sure exactly what we're facing. I'm assuming it's more goblins from Mirkwood here in the snow. Snow's good, obviously, though, for us dwarves. We like the snow. So let's get everything set up here. We've got our Khazad volunteers in the middle. And our Erebor infantry on the flanks. Our Dwarven Travellers and our Woodland Sentinels. Put them out in the front, I guess. Let's have a look at these lads. These elven chappies that have come to aid us on the path through Mirkwood. These guys, let's compare their stats to the Traveller, shall we? Like the Traveller, missile attack 3. I believe their accuracy is average. These guys, on the other hand, missile attack 8. Accuracy high, and range is 200 meters instead of 150. So these guys are long range, very deadly accurate. They're elves with bows. I mean, what do you expect, really? They're going to murder a lot of goblins. We've still got our Dale cavalry. So let's set these guys up here and here, I guess. And then we've got our poor dwarven labourers as well. Let's see. Let's get the Dragon Slayer set up here. We'll get Balin set up here. And we'll put the poor labourers tinkers and toy makers in the back there, hopefully where they won't have to get involved in combat, and I think that should be good. Anyone checked out the new Lord of the Rings show yet? I have. All I will say about it is that I am enjoying it very much. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it, but I honestly don't want to talk about it very much because it's painfully clear to me that it's becoming one of those topics that on the internet people get very, very angry about. So I don't really want to talk about it, honestly. Don't want to open that Pandora's box. All I'll say is I enjoyed it. I went in with the lowest possible expectations. I didn't really get into any of the hype. I think I watched only one trailer and avoided everything else, and I went into it with very low expectations and have been pleasantly surprised, and I'm enjoying it a great deal. Beyond that, not going to say any more. If you made your own Lord of the Rings show, where would you put your focus? I don't know. I don't know, honestly. It's not an easy question to answer. Because you could, if you wanted to do the First Age and the War of Wrath, that would be very cool, but my god, the CGI budget would be out of this world. And I think the Tolkien estate is notorious for not wanting to part with the rights to the Silmarillion, so even if you wanted to, I'm not sure you'd be able to. According to Google, it's either 5 stars or 1 star. It is, I'm afraid, one of those. People seem to either really like it or really, really, really hate it. What's the opposition? Good question. The elves are already opening fire. It looks like we've got Dol Guldur archers. Dol Guldur Mirkwood Uruks. Okay, that's a bit beefier than I was expecting. Mirkwood Uruks, Mirkwood Uruks. Mirkwood Uruks. Oh boy, okay. They've got catapults, which are getting ready to fire, actually. That's not good. Everybody spread out. And I'm going to send in the cavalry. This is what I needed the cavalry for. Crumbs. I noticed you guys didn't bother to spread out. Disobedient elves. Yeah, we need to take care of those catapults right now because, like, that was scary accurate. That was for a bunch of orcs with catapults. That was unsettlingly accurate. I hope you guys are easier to kill than the damn headhunters were earlier. Okay, so I'll level with you folks. I did this battle when I was testing earlier, but what's very, very interesting, and this bodes well for the game's replay value, I must admit, is the fact that... oh boy, they're firing again. We got very lucky that time. And the Dale horsemen are upon them. Excellent. Right, okay, everybody, you can tighten up again. I like that big horn somebody's blowing down there.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast.
Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah,
ours.
I played this battle when I was testing, but very interestingly, when I first played this battle, the enemy force was very different. They did not have lots and lots of Mirkwood Uruks. They had a vast, vast, vast army of really crappy goblins. They had really low, tons and tons of really low-level troops instead. But this time they've got a far more low body count, more elite army, which is quite interesting. Honestly, right, you guys, yeah, you need to skedaddle. You've killed off the catapults, which is good. I now need you to move before you get skewered by Uruks. I think I might send in Balin and his chums, honestly, here, because They have very high morale, very high stats, and Balin himself is going to be very difficult to kill. He's got like 9 hit points or something mad like that. For reference, virtually every normal unit in the game has 1 hit point. So Balin has the hit points of 8 men, which is a bit crazy. I'm going to take you guys off skirmish mode. I should note, actually, these Woodland Sentinels actually surprisingly good in melee. Again, elves in a nutshell in this game. They're pretty much good at everything. Because they're elves. Why don't I put you guys in shield wall? Leave you guys around here. God, they move so slow. Oh, dwarves. Fleece of foot you are not. Right, and attack these guys from behind. Some of you guys spread out because the enemy archers seem to be really focused on you. But we laborers at the back there, you're fine. We seem to be doing alright for now. I'm tempted to send in the Dragon Slayers, honestly. I think I will. They're a very, 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 very valuable resource, the Dragon Slayers, that cannot be easily replaced, but I believe now is the time. Yeah, these Uruks are shaken. They're not having it. Right, where are our cavalry at? They're distracting these Mirkwood Uruks at the moment. That's fine. You keep doing that. I'm trying to ring them back around here and try and get them to take out the archers. That's what I'd like to do. Actually, what wouldn't be a bad idea is to try and get some of you guys to flank around the sides. Try and shoot them from the rear. Okay, right. Off you go, boys. Kill me some Mirkwood hunters. Are you guys orcs or what are you? They look like orcs. How you boys doing? Oh yeah, you're rolling up the flanks quite nicely. How are the cavalry doing? They're doing fine. Alright, lads. You move around here. You shoot these Uruks in the back. Oh, there's some goblins routing, in fact. These Dol Guldur archers are putting up a heftier fight than I really kind of gave them credit for. Oh, right. Right, yeah, you guys can just kite these Uruks here and fill them full of arrows. Got plenty of arrows left to go, so... Oh yeah, you're killing a bunch of them now. Nice. Alright, time for the Dale Cavalry to move their asses. Alright, things are going very well up here, it looks like. Oh yeah, they're all running for it. They are legging it. Right, you guys just stop. Guys, move back over there. Are you still... You should be... I feel like some of you guys are still in loose formation. But I guess not. I guess... Oh, it's just because some of you are in shield wall. That's what's making it the rest of them seem like they're in loose by comparison. You know, don't bother about the routing ones. Shoot the ones that aren't routing. How you guys doing? Still set to skirmish mode? Because I really think you probably should be. There's Mirkwood goblins still hanging around.
Like this, we will smash the enemy.
Let's fix that, shall we? You guys are gonna want to move. I have a horrible feeling the Uruks are faster than you are, so you really need to leg it, boys. You're getting some good hits on these guys, but they aren't all going down, are they? Made of tough stuff, these lads, apparently. Can we get some stats on them? Yeah, here we go. How many hit points do they have? Just the one, but they're quite well armored. What's going on up here? Guess chasing goblins. No, you're actually not. You're doing something else completely. Still kiting these Uruks. Oh, you're out of ammo. About the elves, they've still got some left. Come on, get over there. The elves move quite quickly compared to us, don't they? But then I think virtually everybody moves quickly compared to dwarves. Oh, they're charging after us! Keep running, lads! I might have to do a rear cavalry charge on these spearmen. Man, look at the elves catch up though. Good grief. We're actually going to get a nasty surprise in a minute. It could have been nastier. Not gonna lie. Keep going, boys. Keep running. Oh, you stopped and tried to attack, and that kind of ruined everything. I see. You know what? For archers, for elves, you're remarkably inaccurate right now, boys. Let's get you up into a proper firing position, shall we? They've sort of... Wow, their unit has become completely split up. They've got a couple of dudes over here still chasing my dwarves, and then they've got this blob here just standing there. Which is probably what's confusing the archer's aim. Because they're not aiming for the blob, they're trying to just sort of aim everywhere. Maybe that'll do the trick. Yeah. Killing some of them now. Cinematic cam. Are they running now? No, they're just marching.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Extremely stubborn Uruks. How's it going over here? Did you guys kill all the Uruks that were here? No, not quite.
Engage them.
Kill the buggers. There we go, finally.
It is time to press the attack.
Alright. Cut them down. I don't think we really gain very much from murdering these dudes, but it is fun to watch. Listen to them scream. What are you lads doing? You gonna shoot them or what?
Engage them!
What are you doing? Oh, for pity's sake, just stop.
Stop shooting!
Go finish him off.
It is time!
How do you follow along camera? Insert, end, something like that? Yeah, there we go. Oh, not quite. Gorgeous models for all the units in this game, I gotta say. They're so much prettier than the default Medieval 2 ones.
This is a clear victory.
Enemy general's dead. Naglug has been killed. I think we can call it there, can't we? Whoa, or not. Gotta wait for the thing. There we go. We lost 222 soldiers. We did heal some, though, on the bright side. Particularly the elves. Some of the Khazad volunteers we got back to. So that could be worse. The Dale cavalry gained more experience. Yeah, so we're taking some casualties. The Khazad volunteers have taken a bit of a bruising, but they're not too bad. In the books, I don't quite remember whether or not there were Uruks from Mordor. I mean, there are orcs of varying sizes, but the Uruk-hai, very specifically, were a Sauron thing. Yes, he crossbred orcs with humans by force, and that's how he created Uruk-hai. In the books, anyway. In the film, he just pulled them out of some magical slime, but hey. No mercenaries available. Anyway, there was the thing here. Elven support arrives. Let me get rid of this. Oh, I can't actually open the message. That's really annoying. Anyway, what the message box would have said, because I read it last time when I was testing, is that some elves have come along to help guide us through Mirkwood, and apparently there's a settlement up ahead where we can rest and recuperate a bit. So... All I know is the movie scene where the Uruks were birthed in mud was something only added in the movies because it seemed cool. Yes, there's a lot of things like that in the Peter Jackson films. They kind of diverge from the stuff in the books quite a bit. Like the whole goblins and orcs thing. Like according to Tolkien himself, they are the same creature. They are just two different words for the same race, basically. Goblins and orcs interchangeable. They aren't separate things, but they kind of made them separate in the Peter Jackson movies, and that's reflected in this game as well. You have goblins in this game and you have orcs, but really it's just, they're all just orcs. So let's go this way. Hope nothing bad happens. Hey, Erendolan, we've reached this town they mentioned. Right, look, Balin has been blocked. We can't move any further. Could we get any... No mercenaries. No mercenary wood elves want to come with us, apparently. Who could blame them, really? How are our own mercenaries getting on? 50 cavalry left here, 43 left here. You know, it's not great, but it's enough to get things done like murdering catapult crews, which is mainly what they're there for. Maybe they know how the journey canonically ends, yes, or they could accurately guess how it will end. I'll have to find out what happens next. Oh, some of the elves are moving out. Alright. Elves under siege. Our rearguard scouts have reported a terrible scene. Orcs from Dol Guldur are assaulting the elven town which hosted our company, allowing us to rest. We should return the aid given to us by helping lift the siege. Do we assist the elven people? Yeah, we should probably, I mean, you know. But elves! Never trust an elf and all that, but yeah, we should probably help them. It would be a very good idea, I think. Or will it? I don't know, it's a bit sort of like, well, do we want to drain our resources that we're going to need to take back Moria? Or, on the other hand, should we help our allies who have helped us? Probably. I believe we got a not so very subtle hint at the start of the campaign that it would be wise to be nice to the Wood Elves and make friends with them, so... And Balin's a good egg. I don't think he'd hang out the elves to dry, so... Has it ever established how Balin and the Dwarves dealt with the Balrog? They didn't deal with it, did they? I mean, they pretty emphatically did not deal with the Balrog. The Balrog dealt with them. Yes, it's a system. I could have put that up to a vote, but nah. Some gorgeous artwork on the loading screens in this.
Our foes appear to be gaining the upper hand in this battle.
Oh, we're gonna fight like a siege defense now. This is fun. Oh, no. The elves are the ones defending, and we're gonna arrive from off map. I bet that's how this works, and we're gonna come along and break the siege. Oh, this is cool. Okay, I also love the elven buildings here. By the way, this is seriously awesome. Very, very, very cool. Okay, so what do we got here then? The elves have woodland warriors. More woodland spearmen. And up on the walls they've got... Ooh, these guys look cool. Tawar Arania? Something like that. Can't do elven pronunciations to save me life, I'm afraid. I could just about manage dwarvish ones, and that's pushing it a little. But they look pretty elite, whoever they are. Woodland scouts. So they've got a lot of archers, which is definitely going to help them here. And the thing about these elves is their archers are pretty good in melee too, so... Alright, so they got tons of archers, who'd have thunk it? Versus... what? Oh look, Uruks! With big, choppy weapons. Would have been better if it was goblins, really. I don't know if these guys are Uruks or just regular old orcs. I must say they're probably just orcs. Oh, and catapults. We've got 2 units of them. Bloody hell. Okay, so lots of orcs and Uruks. Lots of orcs and Uruks. Whoa. And then their backline is archers. More archers. Even more archers. And oh look! More archers. Alright then. That's kind of a nasty army they've got there. I want to say hoping the elves will prove to be a mistake. Well, who knows? Maybe they'll give us some units. Worst comes to worst, I'll just batter them to death with Dragon Slayers, because nothing they've got will be able to compete with the Dragon Slayers in melee. Does make me wonder which end of the map we're going to come in on, though. Alright. Where are we at? We're all the way on the other side. Oh my goodness me. Alright, this is a battle we may want to attempt more than once, frankly. Oh look, the walls are slightly damaged on this side. I don't know, because we could run all the way over there to try and get there in time, but we'd be absolutely knackered. But, on the other hand, I could just have Balin pop Stubbornness of the Dwarves. That might help. Well, I'm going to attempt it once with having just everybody march regular speed over here, to try and get here. And if it doesn't work out, we'll reload and we'll try it again, and I'll just get everybody to leg it immediately. We are about a billion miles away from the battle, though, aren't we? Question is, actually, do we want to go in through the city, or do we want to go around the city and attack them from behind? Oh boy, yeah, they're going in with the catapults big time, aren't they? Not wasting any time there with that. And they're pulling everybody off the walls. Oh boy. It's the AI being really clever again. Yeah, sure, abandon the walls where we could have shot at them with impunity with our bows. No, go huddle in the middle of the street instead, where we'll have no good lines of fire. Oh boy. Let's go we'll go there. For now. Keep our options open. Oh, you absolute geniuses. You've now decided to come out through the gate and get all of your guys squished. Oh, no. Why is the Total War AI so stupid? At least the towers will do their jobs properly. What are these guys? Dol Guldur host. Yeah, I have to assume these guys were just some variety of orc. But you know what the annoying thing is, Django? I bet if I were the orcs attacking the elves wouldn't do this stupid malarkey. They would actually shoot at me from the walls like they're supposed to. But when it's AI versus AI, boy, do things get dumb. Oh my god, we're moving so slowly. It's alright, lads. No rush. It's just elves. Oh wait, frame rate's taking a dip. Allied generals fall. Well, who'd have thought it? Who saw that coming, eh? But elves managed to get their leader killed.
Walls have fallen. Steel and valiant hearts must be our fortress now. Remember, fear is worse than fighting.
Perhaps the elves are just playing a really complicated game of four-dimensional chess here, and I will look a fool later. But I feel like they're not somehow. Could send my cavalry ahead to try and somehow help, but I don't know how they would really right now. The enemy's catapults are monstrously well guarded at the moment. I guess on the bright side, the orcs are making incredibly, well, very little progress towards actually taking the town, aren't they? I mean, they're just sort of, they've sent one unit ahead to just sort of hang around outside the walls and be shot at. So, I mean, the elves are being pretty dumb right now, but the orcs aren't being terribly clever either. I think it's these smoke effects or something. It's these. It's when the catapults hit the walls, my frame rate dips like crazy for some reason. Dumb versus dumber, really, I think. What's going on over here?
The walls. Fight on. They must get no further.
Oh! The Uruks are sending some guys around after us, it looks like. I think our mere presence has monstrously confused the Dol Guldur AI right now. There's a little fight happening over here. I think I saw some going around this way too at one point. I don't know where they've ended up. Oh, look, they're here. Okay, well, you know what? If they want to do this, I'm actually fine with that, because it means we can just sort of hack them to bits piecemeal, right? You guys want to assemble there? Maybe hurry it up, though. Go to the graphics options for a minute. I don't think there's anything I can really, except maybe turn effects down. I think there's some sort of thing that the game doesn't like that's making the frame rate drop quite dramatically. However did you guys beat Morgoth, eh? Oh yeah, send the archers into melee. That's a grand idea. With the Uruk Slayers. Alright, we've got a column of more Uruk Slayers headed this way. Well, I got some Dragon Slayers to meet them, I suppose, so... Oh god! They're here already. Get back. Alright, it's arranged my infantry in a particularly odd way here. Where are you guys going? You're just walking backwards there. Come back in and fight! Let's get you guys into a shield wall, shall we? Dwarven labourers. Guys, get back here. Get Balin's guard up here as well. Victory seems certain, that's right, because we're the dwarves. We eat Uruks for breakfast. Go on, Balin, my lad, get stuck in. Dragon Slayers versus Uruk Slayers. Alright, archers. Need you guys to not be shooting right now.
The battle seems to be swinging in our favor. From such tidings does victory emerge.
Defeat is a distinct possibility, it says. This mod definitely seems to have interesting issues with units only sending a few guys in to charge and the rest kind of hanging back. I mean, with these guys, they're in shield wall, so that's kind of automatically cacking it up a bit, but I'm not sure what the deal is with Balin's guard right now. Oh, look at him twirly whirl that thing. That was cool. Spinny Uruk. How you guys getting on over here? I do believe you've killed virtually all of them and the rest are running away. Very good. Send the cavalry after them, I think. How are we getting on over here? They're wavering. Now they're running. Excellent. Alright, no need to chase them, boys. Conserve your strength, your stamina. Let the mercenaries deal with them. Everything's going over here. More orcs and a lot of dead elves. Yeah, the orcs seem a little confused by the whole situation, although they are now moving into the town, it looks like. The elves, meanwhile, are kind of crowding in the square. Where are that really good unit they had? Where's that one gone? The guys who are actually wearing some armor. Where have they ended up? They are... Oh, they're here, and there's not a lot of them left. Well, on the bright side, they've left their cavalry. I mean, their catapults even very, very unprotected.
The enemy have the walls. Look to our defense or all is lost.
I don't know what happens if we lose this battle, honestly. I think we may have to go into the town to salvage this mess, if I'm honest. Get the travelers, get the laborers up there as well. Get our own woodland sentinels up there. Figure out what I can do with you guys in a minute. Yeah, we're going to need you cavalrymen here to try and take out those catapults. While the orcs run around here, getting shot at by towers and generally exhausting themselves, which is good. So they surround this poor unit of elves. Though if I had to guess, they'll probably kill a fair few orcs before they go down. Alright, here come the Dale cavalry. Get rid of these catapults. They are a problem. They need to be gone. Hopefully the elves don't have to survive for this to be worth it. Yeah, hopefully not. Oh, hello, Dolguldur archers. Well, we're gonna just ignore you guys for the moment. Good God, you dwarves are slow. Go on, run!
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true
All right.
and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Right, we're getting rid of the catapults. That's good. These poor Dale horsemen are not very good, but they can kill catapult crews. Bless them. Those archers are an issue. But we need to deal with this first. Shaken, just rout, you little bastards. Alright, a fight has broken out in the center. Balin and his boys are steadily making their way towards the middle. Oh god, we're being shot to pieces. This is bad. Just rout. Just rout, please. Well, at least they're only mercenaries. Right, I think they've had enough. Let's, oh god, we do not have a lot of guys left here. We took out those catapults, but at what cost? Right, deal with these sodding archers. Or at least hurt them a bit and then leg it. The morale is still eager. Alright. We have dwarves in the center. We're still fresh. Dwarven stamina is a thing to behold, apparently. Let's take up a position here. Balin cannot shield wall, but the Dragon Slayers can. As can you guys. What's going on over here? Uruk Slayers, who look like they're going to be defeated, so that's okay. Get stuck in, Balin. Balin himself is over here. Nicely out of harm's way. Yeah, kill these slayers.
Our men are in control of the castle.
How are the cavalry doing? They're slowly chopping their way through these archers, which is good. I think I'm beginning to get a bit of a bone to pick with orc archers. I have to say, their little bastards are very irritating. Are you running away? They're wavering. Do you think the Dragon Slayers inspire terror? I can't. They do! They frighten nearby enemy infantry. Oh, brilliant. Scary dwarves. Yeah, that's right. You run away. Lily livered Uruks. Do Balin's guys scare people, or is that just the Dragon Slayers? Yeah, it's just the Dragon Slayers. That's a really useful ability to have, I gotta say. Let's move back a bit, shall we? This is the way. How are things going over here? Still murdering archers, very good. With the help of the towers, thankfully. I've got the Uruks boxed in here. Have they rallied at all? Or are they still routing? I think they've rallied. Although these guys are marching out here, presumably to try and deal with my cavalry. Which I'm not mad keen on. Bring up our Khazad volunteers. If I could try and fit them into the square somehow. Whatever, I'll just... move there. Nothing's going on over here. Looks like they killed all the Uruks that were over here. Oh, some of them are coming back. Advance. Balin! Kill him! Routing immediately. Ha 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 ha. Excellent. That's what we like to see. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you guys out of shield wall. And I'm going to send you around that way. And you, I'm going to send around this way. Okay. Their archers are still pissing me off. How are things going out here? You killed all the archers? Looks like it. Those... I don't know where those Uruks got to. Some of them are legging it over here. Some of their archers are running away or something. Yeah, archers. There were some Uruks headed this way, but I don't know what's happened to them. Just, we nearly finished butchering these archers now. You guys coming up to make an attack? How are you guys doing? You're still fresh and eager? Oh, love to see it. Kill these bastards. Get down there and kill them. And this elf commander needs to stop spamming commands. Very irritating. Get him, Balin. Kill him. Oh, these guys. Uruk bodyguard. This will be their general here, then. Where is he? Can we see him? Is he a particularly special-looking Uruk around here somewhere? Ooh. Oh, no, those are black Númenóreans right there. But if I were a betting man, I'd bet you 100 quid those are black Númenóreans.
Very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
I don't know which one's the general, though. My cavalry's getting attacked by something. Oh, they are, yes. Uruk Slayers. All right, yeah. However many of you are left, you need to run now. It's time to leave. Oh, hello. The enemy had a similar idea, apparently. You guys have managed to make it around here unmolested, though. That's good. Keep going. How's Balin getting on? Kicking ass. Taking names. Where is the man himself? I don't know. He has a red cloak on normally, but there's a lot of them that are covered in blood, so it's making it a bit more difficult to spot him. Where are you, Balin? He's got a big two-handed axe. He shouldn't be that difficult to spot. I think that's him there. Yeah, there he is. Seems the Dragon Slayers are pushing forward to get involved anyway, in spite of me not telling them to. Sod it. Have fun, boys. Balin's bodyguard's taking a bit of a beating. Well, I say a beating, and they've gone down from 40 dudes to 35 dudes. But ironically, they are a little expendable compared to everyone else, because I think they just regenerate on the campaign map. You guys are doing fine. My Erebor infantry. And over here, oh, hello. Victory seems certain. Yeah, I'd say regular dwarf infantry versus regular orc infantry. That's a foregone conclusion every time. According to the message we got in the campaign screen at the start, they should General's bodyguard unit should automatically replenish up to 77 guys on the campaign map. So getting Balin's guys back is not something we necessarily need to worry about, I don't think. I hope. But on the other hand, the thing is, if we'd sent in a different unit, just to think how many more dwarves we would have lost, so... Zurich bodyguard is tough, apparently. They're losing, but they are tough. Unlike these orcs who are just getting absolutely wrecked. What about up here? Yep, pretty much the same deal. It's a lot of dead orcs on the floor there.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
Finally.
We have sent the cart to hell.
Gazmog is no more. And his orcs are beginning to flee. Oh no, I think, oh dear, they caught up with my cavalry, what's left of them. Oh bugger. You know what we can do? We can create a surprise for them. Really, if you were being as mercenary about this as possible, you'd probably send in the dwarven labourers. But lore-wise, narrative-wise, the dwarven labourers, they are, you know, they're the civilians in our expedition. We should not be sending them into combat. So, we've captured the gateway. Or rather, the elves have, I think. Yeah, routing and broken. See, now would be a good time to have a nice block of cavalry to chase them down with, but since it's an event battle, I suppose it doesn't matter. What we really need to do is track down the one unit that's not routing yet. I think it's these guys. Well, that means shoot him to death. Wow, the elves already open fire from here? Damn. They do have good range. You guys don't have shields, last I checked, so this is not going to be healthy for you. Yep, they're getting massacred. Good. That's what I like to see. They all running away still? Not all of them. If they want to march all the way around the outside, that would be an unhealthy choice. An unhealthy life choice. We're past all those towers. How things going over here? This is very well. You have to admire their courage and or stupidity, don't you really? Now they've finally decided it's maybe not a great idea to charge a bunch of Elven archers in the open with no shields. We kill the last of them just with our arrows. Just 2 left. 1 left. You've hit him twice. There he goes. These guys are running now. What do they have left that's not running? I think them, and that's probably it. Unless some of these guys out here have rallied. Should be annoying if true. No, looks like they're fleeing. Ugh, yeah, you guys better run over here, I guess. In fact, you guys can run after them as well. We need to get these guys to run away. It's getting tired of waiting for this. It's a good thing we don't have battle time limits turned on, eh? Although, I suppose we were the defenders in this one, so it might have helped us. I think it's better to just avoid that quagmire altogether, though, really. Battle time limit is a dodgy one. Could just leisurely stroll past each other. Oh, there we go.
It is time to press the attack.
Finally! We lost 126 dwarves. The elves lost a lot more. Gazmog, on the other hand, lost a colossal amount of troops. Wow. And do you know what? The elves' credit, they killed a lot of orcs in the end. Casualties healed, let's see. Balin's Guard healed 2, the Dale Cavalry healed 6, Dragon Slayers 3. The other unit of Dale Cavalry healed quite a lot. Yeah. I do. I have watched the first 2 episodes of Rings of Power, and I do like it. But I don't really want to talk about it very much because it is apparently a very divisive topic, and I don't need that negativity on the stream, honestly.
Aye, my king.
15% army remain a wipe. It doesn't matter. It's a scripted battle, so they would have been wiped regardless. All right, we did it. I feel like we didn't really get anything for our trouble there, which is... Oh, siege broken. Here we go. A great victory has been won... Note to self, wait around for the scripts to work. A great victory has been won in Mirkwood, for we have defeated the enemy and sent them back into the darkness whence they came. The elves thank our company, and in return, they healed our injured men. Hooray! And... Oh, dude, have they, like, reinforced our units to, like, max? Not quite, but, like, seriously... That's okay. That's good. Our cavalry seem to have condensed into just 1 unit of 76, but I'm all right with that, I think. Or perhaps we lost one of them towards the end of the battle there, and I didn't notice. That could be it. But either way, healed our injured men. They gave us 3,000 gold as a token of friendship. Okay, that was worth doing. We lost a unit of cavalry, but we healed all of our previous casualties. That's a good trade, as far as I'm concerned. And yes, that cavalry does have good XP. You're right. The bodyguards should come back. Yeah, they should slowly regenerate. They aren't really a critical unit though, to be fair. So, it's not too bad. Relations improved with the Woodland Realm. Very good. Yeah, I believe this campaign. You can play an alternate version of the campaign in the options, which is like it gets rid of all the preset diplomacy and it just plays like a regular Total War game, if you really want to. So you could just conquer the world as the dwarves or something if you want to just make war on everyone, have everybody fighting everyone. Or you play this campaign, which is the War of the Ring, where I'm pretty sure all of the diplomacy and stuff is done through scripted events and stuff like this. So like the nice thing about that is I think it gets around the medieval 2 diplomacy system as it exists in vanilla, which is hopelessly broken and ends up with everybody hating you by the end of the game. So hopefully that means that in this campaign we will remain friends with the Woodland Elves and the other nice people, and we'll just focus on fighting the baddies. Which in my book is very good indeed. So, onwards. Although, let's go on a bit further and see what's or am I going to leave it here? I think I might leave it here, folks, honestly. we're getting pretty late. Maybe we'll go one more, shall we?
March. Where to?
All right. End turn. What happens next on our quest?
The time's come, lad.
Battle,
For the
naturally.
turn.
Doesn't look like a huge army attacking us there, I have to admit, but didn't really get a seriously good look at it there, and also this is all scripted, event-based stuff, so who knows what'll happen. Alright. Well, once again we find ourselves with a nice big old hill to stand on, and that is always a good thing. I think dwarves like the high ground. For what should probably be obvious reasons. Pop you over there. Oh, no, actually, pop you here. Put the tinkers and toy makers at the back. Archers out in the front. We're getting to keep these elven archers for now, which is nice. I don't know if they'll leave us once we exit Mirkwood. That'd be interesting to see. Alright, that's looking good. Where do we want the cavalry? Probably here for now, I guess. Is that everybody? I believe it is. So what are we facing off against? Oh god, trolls! Okay. They have a cave troll. Several of them, in fact. That's why it was such a small stack. Ah! They have trolls. Well, yeah, there's only one way to deal with this, isn't there? Shoot them. And also the Dragon Slayers. The Dragon Slayers, I believe, have no, the bonus against camels, wargs, horses, and olifants doesn't actually say trolls, but I have to assume they'd be alright against trolls. I want to get some stats on the trolls here. They have 5 hit points each. Attack 39, charge bonus 10, defense 30. Oh no! Skilled against mounts. Well, we don't have much in the way of mounts, I guess. Reliable in snow, frightened nearby enemy, see morale below. May charge without orders, powerful charge, can't hide. Trolls were bred in the depths of time by Melkor in a mockery of Yavanna's Ents. Whilst his creations were never able to surpass the Ents in strength, they surely do in brutality and dim-wittedness. Over time, the trolls spread across the face of Arda and adapted to various homes, taking on new names wherever they dwelt. Hill, mountain, cave, and forest. So these would be forest trolls, I suppose. It's actually a thing to note, actually, in the books, as far as I'm aware, the Ents are never described as being, like, living trees, tree men. I do not ever recall, in the books, that being the case. In the books, they are much more like, just, you know, as orcs are to elves, trolls are to Ents, and that's how you got to think about it. So, like, the Ents are just kind of big, friendly forest giant fellas in the books, as far as I can recall. That's sort of what they are, but somewhere along the line, probably with the Peter Jackson movies, but I might be wrong. They decided to sort of make them into big tree men. That's how they frequently appear in everything, pretty much. It'd be funny if you won the battle immediately because the trolls turned to stone in the daylight. Yes. Yes, it would. That doesn't seem to happen outside of The Hobbit, does it? Bloody hell. I don't know how we're going to deal with these guys, if I'm honest with you. I'm just going to try and shoot them as much as possible. Seems it looks like they have about 3 units of them, and one little Uruk running along behind them. Oh, this is looking grim, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, enough. Everything about this sucks. In you go, Dragon Slayers. I hope you guys prove to be useful here. And I hope I'm not about to just lose a ton of Dragon Slayers. Man, look at them go. I thought about kiting them and just attacking them with, you know, with missile units, but it's a bit hard to outrun a troll, really. Especially when you're a dwarf. Oh my god. Please tell me you're not all dead. No, you're getting back up. Okay, good.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Please kill the trolls. Oh my god, they've killed half the elves. Well, not half of them, but a lot of them. Try and get out of there. See if we can get you around here. Around this side. Turn off skirmish mode. I need to get you over here, really. Victory certain, apparently. How many guys are we going to lose in the process, though, is the question. How are the Dragon Slayers doing?
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
That's good. I mean, that's half their men is a lot of trolls dead, so... As far as I'm concerned, that's good news. We've killed half the trolls. I don't feel confident in shooting them right now, though, because they're so mingled in with my dudes. Oh, God. Oh, there goes another one. I'm putting a lot of faith in the mod designers here that I'm not going to get to Khazad-dûm and find myself completely incapable of taking the place. I'm not expecting it to be easy, because it did, of course, fail in the real story, but I'm hoping it's still doable, at least. Perhaps taking the path through Mirkwood was our fatal mistake, I don't know. Look at that guy go. Oh my days. Okay, we are trying to shoot the troll, but honestly, please stop. We're going to kill more of our own guys with that kind of aim. Just let the Dragon Slayers take care of it. Oh, that guy got absolutely... Oh, now he's dead, I think. Yeah. He took 2 hits from a troll's hammer. Down he goes. Is that all of them? There's one... There's their little Uruk guy. He's the only one left, the little general. Shoot him. Execute the little guy. Oh wow, okay, he just did a Boromir. He took like 12 arrows. There we go.
The enemy general lies dead. This is a clear victory.
Killing the general first would have helped a lot. If I'd known where he was at the time, you would have been a good idea, but unfortunately it's not like we could specifically target the general. He was technically part of one of the troll units. Took 2 dwarves with him, yeah, what a legend. Okay, we lost 186 guys doing that. Any casualties here? Oh yes. Lots of the Khazad volunteers healed, and some of the woodland sentinels as well. So that softens the blow a bit. The Troll Slayers now, boys. Dragon Slayers sustained 14 casualties, looks like. And they killed 8 trolls. So, yeah, probably was a good idea to send them in, really. Copyrighted music is really awesome, but it's copyrighted, so this stream will probably be muted, which is why I'm recording it to my hard drive as well, so I can upload it to YouTube. There we go. Relations improved with Dale. Alliance announced between Anduin Vale and the Woodland Realm. Anduin Vale. That is Beorn and his boys up here somewhere, I think. All right. With that climactic encounter with the trolls out of the way, still no available mercenaries. I mean, it's, to be fair, not a lot of people live in this part of Middle Earth, so I'm not surprised by that. Right. On that note, folks, as tempting as it is to just go on one more turn, I must end it here. It's getting late. So, Khazad-dûm 2. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much for tuning in. This has been a hoot. I did not realize it was going to be this much fun. I am seriously enjoying Quest for Moria with Balin here. This is really cool. This is way more awesome than just playing a standard faction, I have to say. I'm very impressed. We're still a long way from Moria, by the way. It's all the way down there. We've still got ages to go. On the bright side, hopefully, things might get a bit safer once we're out of Mirkwood. So, but we've got one more turn to go before we're really out of Mirkwood, so... I will bring this back next weekend, I think. I'm enjoying this far too much to stop now. So, ladies and gentlemen, it will be Dragon Age tomorrow. The Dragon Age that was promised will be resuming. As much as I'm tempted to play this tomorrow instead, I will continue with Dragon Age tomorrow, and we'll revisit this next weekend. I'm looking forward to it. In the meantime, I may end up playing a different faction. I may have to do an Isengard campaign off camera to get my fix in the meantime over the course of the next week. I may let you guys know how I get on with that. I thought Isengard or one of the other factions I found earlier that looked interesting. But either way. Because who doesn't want to play as Christopher Lee at the end of the day, right? Isengard, I reckon they're a lot of fun. I reckon they're probably a ton of fun. So... I was tempted to go with Isengard when I installed the mod and had a look at the available factions. It was kind of a toss-up between Khazad-dûm and Isengard, really. It was I wasn't quite sure which way to go with it. Another one I might do, actually, is I might have a go at Angmar and just run amok across Eriador and just murder everybody. Burn Bree to the ground, kill all the Dunedain Rangers, just completely despoil the Shire. And then take out all the elves over here on the western shores. I reckon Angmar would be a really good campaign if you just want to get out there and conquer. You start all the way up here, the arse end of nowhere, and then just spill forth. Yeah, I reckon Angmar are probably quite fun. Angmar's one of the armies I want to get for the Middle-earth tabletop game, actually. At the moment, I have a small little Rohan army. I have a big box of just random orcs that I can use for a variety of armies, and I have some dwarves, which I'm going to be painting this week. But Angmar would be fun. That's for damn sure. And I have played Isengard on Tabletop Simulator. I don't own any Isengard minis, but Isengard are a lot of fun to play in the Middle-earth tabletop game. Anyway, I'm babbling about random shit now. I need to go. Oh, Wolfpack. Hello, dude. Thanks very much for 13 months. Guys, go and check out Wolfpack's channel, his YouTube and his Twitch. Go forth, and if you're one of those folks who loves the Cold War series I do, you should be watching Wolfpack by now, because he does all of the submarine-related things, and aeroplane-related things, and tank-related things. He does, yeah. Anything like that, Wolfpack's your man. Go check out his channel. Seriously. And with that, folks, I'm afraid I must leave you. Is there anyone we could raid? I don't trust the raid panel here. Because I could have sworn I saw Variax was streaming on it. Although, no, of course he was. He raided me streaming on it. Although, no, of course he was. Echo, go away. Yeah. Yeah, no. We can't raid Variax because he's already finished his stream. All right. Well, that'll be it then, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you've been watching on YouTube, cheers. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're keen for more because I'm quite keen to do more of this series. So I'll see you next time, everybody. And that's the recording stopped. Right, there we go. Brilliant. Now I'm just talking to the Twitch people. Excellent. Right. You love the Silent Hunt 3 series? Me too. Me too. Me too. His most recent Silent Hunt 4 series is a very, very good one as well. The one that starts off in the S-boat, which I friggin' love the S-boat. It's slow and it's old and it's crap, but it's really cool. I love World War I submarines. They just have this awesome kind of like giant metal fish sort of look to them. Like they have kind of fish tails on them for their rudders. It's very awesome. I played. I mentioned it earlier in the stream at the start, actually, but I played some more of the Hunted today. Second patrol done. I've made it so far to. The patrol I just did was December 1943, so I'm now into April 1944, I think, because I had a 3-month refit on my boat. So. I've already made it like a fair chunk of the way through to the end of the war, but I'm probably my next patrol will probably be my last, honestly, because the Hunted is so friggin' hard. If I don't get squidded or hedgehogged to death, I'm sure an aircraft will drop a friggin' homing torpedo on me or something. I don't know. Lots of nasty ways to die in the Hunted. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well, though, folks. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will catch you tomorrow, basically, for Dragon Age. So enjoy your weekends, folks. That game looked pretty interesting. It's bloody difficult to get your hands on, honestly. I had to hunt around for quite a while online, and I managed to get a copy, and it took forever to arrive, but it's arrived, and I've played a couple of patrols now, and I'm really, really enjoying it, although it is hard as balls. Like, if the dice gods hate you, you are fucked. You seriously are. I've gotten quite lucky so far because a lot of the depth charges coming at me keep hitting non-critical bits of the boat. So I've managed to do okay so far, and I haven't had anyone drop a squid on me yet. I don't even remember exactly what the squid is. I need to look it up because it's never something that's popped up in Silent Hunter. But I looked at the damage chart for it, and it is amazingly deadly. So one of the results on it is just your boat is straight up sunk, no damage roll, just you're dead. So yeah, it's good. I'll be amazed if I make it through to the end. I mean, so far I've gone from July 1943 till April 1944, and I have sunk a total of 2 ships. I've sunk 2 ships, 2 large freighters. That's it. That's all I've managed to do. Oh, it's stressful, but it's really fun. For anyone who's not really familiar with it, The Hunted is like this really cool solo play board game where you're the commander of a U-boat in World War II, specifically in the latter end of World War II from 1943 through to 1945. And I guess the best way to describe it is like a sort of board game U-boat roguelike. The goal of it is to basically get through to the end of the war and survive, and then surrender to the Allies at the end, while having sunk as many ships possible and gotten as many promotions as possible and awards and things along the way. Is the general idea, but as you can imagine, because it is set in that particular time period, it is incredibly hard to actually get to the end. Because, you know, everything wants to kill you, and all of the enemy destroyers are extremely deadly, and they have tons of aircraft trying to kill you, and Oh god. It's good stuff though. I'm just doing a regular campaign in a Type 7 submarine at the moment, but there's loads of them available. Like you can even do a campaign in one of the milk cow submarines where you don't actually try and sink enemy ships. You have to go out there and resupply other friendly submarines. I was looking through the rules and I came across one random sentence that said, if you roll this and you are in a Type 12 or whatever type of U-boat it was, torpedo tube damage results are to be considered bakery damaged results. No, the bakery has been destroyed. The bakery is inop. Whatever shall we do? Our mission has failed. There's an early war version of it as well called The Hunters, which goes from 1939 till 43. And then you could combine the two games together if you've got them both to try and survive the entire war if you're an absolute Giga Chad with incredibly good luck with the dice. And then they did a version called Silent Victory, which was US subs in the Pacific, which is actually the one I wanted to get my hands on, but it was sold out everywhere. They did one called Beneath the Med, where you're an Italian submarine in the Mediterranean. And they did one called Raiders of the Deep, I think it's called, and you're in a German World War I U-boat. And I think that's probably the one I want to get next, actually, because that one looks really interesting. Because obviously it's a very different gameplay experience being in a World War I U-boat. And you get to do things like Baltic Sea patrols and stuff against the Russians and all sorts of weird things like that. It looks really cool. Might learn a few things about it as well, because I don't know a ton about First World War submarines, but I'd love to learn, and that'd be a cool way of doing it. So, yeah, definitely want to get those. The GMT Games, I think, is the name of the company that does it. They make a whole bunch of awesome games like that. They have another pair of games called Target for Today and Target for Tonight, and in either case, you're in a similar concept, but you're in command of a World War II bomber. So in Target for Today, you're in command of a B-17, and in Target for Tonight, you're in command of a Lancaster or a Halifax, one of the British bombers at night. And then your goal is to try and survive as many sorties as you possibly can before the Germans shoot you down inevitably. And that game looks really cool as well. I kind of want to get my hands on that at some point. So, yeah. Board games have come a long way since I was a kid, where all we had was Monopoly and Risk. Fucking hell. They've come a really long way. Man, when someone said, let's play a board game, when I was a kid, it was like, oh god, it's either going to be Monopoly, Risk, or Game of Life, and it's going to be terrible. So, anyway. A squid launches depth charges about the size of 2 men. Yeah, that would explain why it's so deadly, I suppose. I'm going to have to look that up later, because one of these days I'm going to encounter it, and and it's going to kill me, and I want to know what it is that killed me. Play Twilight Imperium. Is that game you were posting about in the Discord, Poggles, that was like taking you something like 8 hours to play? If I remember correctly. Yes, that's the one, right? That did look pretty hardcore. 10 hours, Jesus Christ. Dave, why would you play Dwarves when you can play as Sauron's forces? Because I have a deep and abiding love of of Durin's folk, I'm afraid. In my heart, I am a dwarf. I like to live under the mountain and mine gems and mithril and drink ale and bellyache about elves. But I have to admit, I do enjoy playing as the baddies in Lord of the Rings. I do. I honestly do. I have a big box of orcs on my shelf for the tabletop game. I do like the baddies, but I like the dwarves slightly more. Axis and Ally. Oh god, I remember Axis and Allies as a kid. I had like a digital version of it on my computer. I spent a bajillion hours on Axis and Allies. I never really figured out how to play it properly, if I'm honest, but it was really good fun. You heard about that hit trilogy of The Hobbit? I watched, actually, fairly recently, a fan edit of The Hobbit that cuts the entire thing down into one 4-hour-long movie. And you know what? It was pretty good. It was actually pretty good. I genuinely really enjoyed it. I even teared up a little bit when Thorin died at the end. It was pretty good. It's called the Bilbo edition, I think. If you can find it online. If you just put it into Google, I actually recommend it. Some of the edits get a little bit clunky towards the end during the battle scenes, but it's overall pretty darn good. It's nice because once you cut out all the unnecessary crap and you condensed it down to one long film, you actually got to see all the really best bits. And it actually made me realize that actually there were some really awesome performances in the Hobbit movies. Like, pretty much all the dwarves were fantastic, but particularly Thorin and Balin. Was it Simon David Armitage or someone who played Thorin? And I can't remember the name of the guy who played Balin, but both of them are just absolutely incredible in every scene they're in. They really did a great job in those films, and they don't really get enough credit for it because, you know, the rest of the films were also a problem. But when you dial it down to just the dwarves and Bilbo and their quest, and you get rid of all the other stuff, it turns into a pretty good movie, as it turns out. Do you ever get the Lord of the Rings LCG? I do have it on my shelf somewhere, and I've never learned to play it. I should get around to it one of these days. I think I've got the manual around somewhere still. I should really learn it, although I don't know what I've actually done with the box. Good question, actually, that. What have I done with the box? Funny thing, the thing is, I ordered it, and then it took about like 6 months to arrive because it was out of stock at the shop I ordered it from, and I didn't realize it at the time. And I had to wait until it came back into stock to give it to me, and it was like 6 months later when I no longer was that interested in the game, and so I sort of opened the package, thinking, "What the fuck is this?" I don't remember ordering anything. 6 months later, I was like, "Oh God, it's this!" I was like, "I don't really have the time to play this right now," so off it went onto the shelf. Yeah, I've heard very good things about Arkham Horror. Yeah, the other similar system, isn't it? I think, but it's obviously Cthulhu based. I think was it Spot was playing it. I think on the Discord like a year ago or something, a couple of years ago. Spot, I think he was playing Arkham Horror and the Lord of the Rings LCG, and he was saying he had nothing but praise for both of them. So. Balin about made you tear up in those movies. Real grandpa energy. Yeah. He's a very likable fellow. I used Balin in my game of the tabletop game I played on Wednesday that I mentioned at the start of the stream. And it was the most amazing little battle I've ever had. So basically, I had my dwarves. 800 points of dwarves, which is quite a lot of dwarves as it turns out, versus 800 points of Moria goblins, which was a lot of goblins as it turned out. And he also was using a few monsters as well. He had a couple of dwellers in the dark, and he had a cave drake. The cave drake was terrifying. It really was. It ripped a lot of my dwarves to shreds. I won the battle by like a whisker right at the end, simply because my standard bearer was still alive, and that's what won me the extra points that won me the battle. But the highlight of the whole thing was when he brought up his little goblin shaman, and he cast this shattering spell on Balin. And what the shattering spell does is if you roll successfully, you shatter a weapon, an item of war gear that the enemy character is carrying. And the thing about Balin is he only has one weapon. He has Durin's axe. And my friend rolled really well with his little shaman, and he shattered Durin's axe, which meant that Balin was completely unarmed for the rest of the battle. He was literally going in there bare-fisted for the rest of the battle. And what was amazing was, like, he started off really well because he killed a dweller in the dark with like one big swing of his axe. So he murdered this big Balrog-type beastie. And then the shaman comes along, shatters his axe, so he's got no weapon left. What Balin then proceeds to do in the subsequent turns is he kills 4 Moria goblins with his bare hands. He had a -1 to his attack rolls because he had no weapon, by the way. But he just rolled super hot anyway. And killed like 4 Moria goblins by himself with his bare hands. And then he turned on the cave drake and punched the cave drake twice, nearly killed it before the cave drake turned around and finally took off his last wound and killed him. So, yeah. In that version of events, Balin did not die to an arrow in the Dimril Dale from an orc while he was gazing into the Mirror. In our version of events, Balin died to a cave drake that he was punching to death with his bare hands. So that was kind of epic. That was pretty. The Middle-earth strategy battle game is a really catchy title, I know, but the MESBG for short is a really, really, really fun game, and I highly recommend it. If you could find some people to play it with, the Middle-earth tabletop game is such good fun. It really is. Such a great wargaming system. A good death for Balin. Yeah, a damn sight more epic than his death in the actual story was, I have to admit. But, yeah. It was just hilarious to think of this, like, kindly old grandpa dwarf just running around in a berserk rage, punching goblins to death, strangling them, all the rest of it. Oh, it was good shit. Anyway, okay, I think that pretty much wraps up the post-stream ramble. Thanks very much for tuning in, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow night. I need to go find the cat. I don't know where he's gotten to. He hasn't been pawing at the door demanding to be let in, which means he's probably skulking around outside still, and he shouldn't be because it's too late for him. So I gotta go find him and feed him, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers. Toodaloo.